boomerang blade, his ricochet, excuse me, bouncing through the wave to stop Gumayusi's back as Doran goes in from a ton of damage here with a Flandra. The public execution plus the flash to try to get away. Flash Electro Harpoon coming out from Doran, but no! It's Flandra with reinforcement from Shanks for the shield, for the outplay to stop Doran in his tracks.
Wait a sec!
Makes it a 1-for-1. Gumayusi from all the way across the map strikes true, and T1 starts the Drake.
It looks so good for AL.
You mention anyone's legend, Dagda, because Vedius, you mentioned back at the draft when we saw the Kai'Sa locked in. Never mind, we don't have time. JackeyLove going after Gumayusi, who sidesteps a public execution and kills Jackie anyway. 369 wants the damage, and Guma's finally going to be shut down. But Top Esports lose their top laner. Now Owners putting the pressure onto Cream and Hong, making more space as Faker lets blow the winds of war, and they will blow down Top Esports. Nobody's left alive. They might have got Gumayusi.
Now, Chovy just controlling that space beautifully. Gen G have a chance here. They're trying to buy time for the Orin to TP back.
It's the last stand here from Gen G, desperately trying not to give it over, but there we go, Orin's back. His cooldown still available.
Chovy on the flank, blast cone down, Cuz cleansed away with them. Mikhail's Canyon in the pit, Cuz has to flash. As they look for the engage, Canyon going in, Cuz in the middle of the pit as well. The redemption coming out from Gen G. Cuz trying to get out of that obsession. The morning mist landing on towards the backline. The Elder down to 7,000. Good stun coming out. The corner of the port got Juro blocks. The Glacial Fissure out as well. The Elder secured as KT. They get it and Dogdam. It's flashing forward. Ruler rules no longer. KT clean up the fight. And now march down mid. KT. All the years, all the tears, all the fears forgotten. It is one step closer to the promised land as we see no defense available for Gen G. KT are going to finals.
They have to take this fight.
Let's see what they can actually get done here. Like you were saying, Cloud Soul going to make this poke comp difficult to play as Chovy going to get cornered here, but gets out of the way of the bomb. They did manage to take him down in the end though, as Viper is untouched. Keen gets in there, he's in the mist looking for Zeus, but the needlework doesn't quite connect, and now it's him that has to flash away. A blast cone is going to be there for him and Ruler to stay safe, but this dragon belongs to HLE.
And it's Peanut that finds his old teammate.
Play for everybody except for Hansama, because the rest of G2 are going to be clumping.
The Brav going a little bit wide, but now he's just completely isolated himself. Flat forward with the play. Broken Blade ready to come over the wall immediately into the back of the line, but JackeyLove is still standing for now, untouched. Broken Blade trying to move forward, but 369 perfectly interrupts. JackeyLove shift back over the wall, now able to free fire, but Hansama's firing back just as well. Trap down, Redemption coming in. The Caitlyn needs to make the difference, but it's 369 into the back line with the triple.
Caps is going to run for his life, but 369 still on the hunt. Even though Caps survives, it does not matter.
He's safe.
Level 9 though. Ulti available, as is the flash. G2, they've got Skumon in the way, but they need to be careful not to go too soon. Root does connect onto 369. They spot Skumon now coming in. Hansama forced to flash away. 369 manages to connect with the wall. Flash forward, 2 into the wall, and here comes Kanavi! 369 playing with patience, punishing G2.
Oh, 369 is insane. He alley-oops into the wall for Kanavi to clean it up. Comes down and gets 2 kills onto the Nafiri.
Control now. Hope wants to grab the red buff, and Flandra needs to get back out and join up with the rest of AL here for the fight. Red buff secured. Elder Drake started, but so slowly. Flandra going to move forward, try to clear away the control ward. They're going in after the Aatrox. They set him up with the arrow. Flandra has been caught at a critical moment. Over the wall goes Tarzan. Wild Growth coming in from Kael. Guardian Angel will bring Flandra back, but where is the damage on AL's side? Doran into the back line. Kael is already down. Doran killed in response. T1 pushing forward. Shanks the next kill. Hope trying to kite. He needs to get away because T1 have won the fight 2-1.
Flandra is trying to reset and teleport back in. He's trying to link up with the team. The minions are here. They need to turn it. That's the teleport.
Okay, T1, they've got to understand this. Aatrox is probably their target. Flandra arrives. Solar Snare looking to lock him up. Owner taking a ton of damage. Hope is excited. Flandra's got the kill. Solar Snare on Hope, but it's not going to do any more. Flandra's going to try to get away. Goes back in here for the Q1. Tarzan wants to engage onto Gumayusi, but he cannot find him. Flandre over the wall, wants Faker, can't get the damage. Hope can't do it either. Gumayusi's still alive. T1 out team fight into Legend.
Of HLE as they look to approach, but there's the TP.
Yeah. Nico's searching out, but you can see Zeus looking to get on top of Chovy one more time. This dragon down to about 4.5k as Peanut goes in, finds the Glacial Prison. This time the Buff Blossom is too good! As Duro will be able to even get the kill on his opposite number. HLE falling down left and right, and it's Keen once again on an onslaught, and Viper Life Esports, he will be the last one to go down, and it's a triple for Ruler. A sneaky one as they are indeed. Duro moving in, pretending to be Ruler, as we can see, as they get full vision of this Baron. It's going down pretty quickly as Zeka will make his way over. Teleport in from Keen as well. Let's see whether they can take this Baron, because this could be a difficult team fight. True Shot Barrage goes through Peanut, locks down the Baron. Delight is so incredibly low, but he had the shield for so long. They get rid of him, but can HLE keep themselves alive? Viper cannot, and Gen.G will get the punish, but they keep the Barons on the map.
It was a 2 versus 1 that turned into a 4 versus 2 as Faker Zhonya's.
Faker walks right towards the brush, but he's got the reaction time. Top Esports wanted to find their moment. Carry is wrapping around from the side. He wants to cut off the escape. Pop Blossom on 2. Doran chasing after Hong as Jackie Love is dead again. And Doran cuts the enemy support down. Only Kanavi is alive to tell the tale. And T1's got a 5,000 gold lead. Tarzan, but it's not a lot. They don't need a lot. They just need time to chip away at these tier 3s. Doran with a Bellows Breath to get through the claw. Flandre loses half his HP. The Mordekaiser's going to be your target. Here goes the Ornhorn. They knock Flandre up into the air. But again, nobody under serious threat. Tarzan with an impale onto 1, but he's about to die. He flashes away. Guma flashes in. Carry with a 3-man Pop Blossom will seal the fate of anyone's Legend. Guma with a triple. Guma with a quadra. Only Flandre stands. Gumayusi finally dies, but AL will die with him. T1 will not go quietly. They will force down the Nexus turrets. They will move to the Nexus, and they will take us to Silver Scrapes. As AL approach, Flandre's going to look for a target, potentially here for the death round. Herald down to 4k, Claw hits 2, but Flandre can't get any closer. Owner wants to take the objective. Paranoia's already gone out. Herald secured by Owner as the Ornhorn comes in, but only finds 1. Carrier locks up Hope. Gumayusi into the back line, and the AL AD carries already down. Owner tries to flash away. Doran in the middle of everybody, but Flandre barely stays alive. He should surely die right after the shield falls, and Owner kills him. Kael's on the run. T1's on the hunt. Everybody on AL's dropping, and T1 are absolutely demolishing the LPL team. Tarzan tries to dig through the wall. He'll barely escape, but it's Rift Herald plus 4 kills to the side of T1.
Even Guma lived! Shanks tried to go back in to kill him, but he couldn't get the vision, he couldn't get the damage! T1 have taken control of this game!
And Flandre's forcing down the first turret 14 minutes into the game. Now T1 starting up the second Drake. They want to try to keep stacking here. Carrier disengaging as AL's on the approach. T1 grouped up as 4. The Drake is down to 2,000 HP. Faker joins up with everybody. It's a 5v5. They go in immediately as Doran tries to lead the charge with a blast estimating smash. But he's only going to be beat down himself. A lot of damage on the Doran, but he is not down. Carry into the back line. The major engage from T1. Tarzan finds a supreme display of talent and making a 1-for-1 so far. But T1 have the health bars. Faker rides the Weaver's wall as Carry is about to die into the back line. But Kael falls. Tarzan falls. T1, they'll lose Carrier as Gumayusi fights back, and Shanks is on the run. Faker and Guma looking for a little bit more with a piercing arrow going over the wall, and Faker's ready to flash. Another rock is thrown, and Shanks is buried. T1, 4 for 2.
Diego really needs that first reset. And there's not any like point and click. You're not paired with a Syndra, an Annie, an Ahri, anything like that. So it's just everything does your poke click.
Oh my god! Oh my god, the Mega Inferno Bomb of Doom, and Ginger overstepping Peter with a great double pulverize onto the backline, and everything hits this time. Rest tries to dive in, but is put to sleep, and all he'll see are nightmares of KT. A triple in the end for Dogdam, another sleep landing, and the chase comes out from Perfect and from Dogdam! Hongchu is not done yet. Castle chasing beaten down. A heartbreaker, a stake through the heart of CFO as KT win out the fight.
It's a taster of what CFO could have, but it's KT who are once again cooking CFO over an open pit. The amount of gold and nourishment they're getting out of this roster is insane right now.
To the challenge, Faker with a teleport ready to join up as immediately the engage comes out from Tarzan. The target is Keria. The Shanks finds everybody. Thanks in the back line as Gumayusi tries to get away. He's scattered, but he's knocked down by Tarzan. Faker scrambling as Kyle and Hope chase after him. Doran's going to be the next target, and anyone's legend have forced the world champions back.
What an engage from anyone's legend! Tarzan does not hesitate. He pulls the trigger onto Keria as he approaches the pit, and it is barren for anyone's legend.
275 scoreline. He's 3 levels behind Gumayusi. Still does not hesitate to press W towards T1. He knows that they will not turn this game around idly by.
Corner over the wall, immediately goes into the Cataclysm. Jackie Love under pressure as Gumayusi pops the Seeker, staying alive for now, needs a little bit more damage. Keria swoops in behind him. Gumayusi's still alive. Top Esports is not. It's T1 with a full send.
T1 crashes down on Top Esports, and it will be the base that will be next to fall.
Game number 2 will end even more quickly than game number 1. They average nearly 1 kill per minute in this second matchup as 369 will get one back at the very, very end, but he dies on the steps to his own base. T1, match point.
All right, Gen.G set up now for this Cloud Dragon. Delight off to the side, wanting to try and make this helicopter work for him. If this Keeper's Verdict lands, it could be such a big deal. Chains of Corruption, he's going to start this fight as Peanut. Crescent Guard there to keep himself safe. And now the flash in, he gets on the turret, he managed to cancel it! Public Execution is still going to be able to find Zeus away into the backline, but the Cataclysm is there from Canyon to buy the space, and Zeka goes down. Zeus is going to follow suit, and he tried as he might, but Gen.G are going to win out, and even though they lose, the Drake might be able to take even more.
From the bottom lane, and it still has a lot of health.
Top Esports knows something is up. They cannot find Owner, and they know that's an issue, but it's misses on the ult.
They wanted the Public Execution, they can't get Gumayusi! 3-man pop blossom from Keria, and Jackie Love's dead again! This time, his friends might just go with them. Gumayusi needs a little bit more as Kanavi chases forward on Doran. The Trundle needs the kill, but he dies to the Cataclysm. Cream locked up by Faker. It's a Justice Punch to the jaw, and Gumayusi knocks him out! Triple kill for the Kaisa as Hong's a fish out of water, and T1 get an ace for 2.
Trying to force KT's hand. They got some critical cooldowns there. No Mundo ult is massive, and they're getting zoned by the Anivia.
There's a hostile takeover. Duro will be looking for that Unbreakable. Chovy forced away towards the Tribush. 6,000 HP on the Archon right now. Impale lands. Hostile takeover coming out as well as eaten by the Unbreakable. BDD flashing forward with the Miasma. Redemption's coming out as Dogdam dances around the fight. Keen forced to flash away. Perfect able to escape with a sliver of HP, as is Peter. Ruler now on the front line. He stares into the eyes of BDD, and he's turned to stone. His tombstone litters the rift as KT win the fight at Archon.
It's KT winning the fight, getting the Otacon, and they are going for the Dragon here as well. It's going to be KT on Soul Point, on Match Point, 8-1.
Want to take the fight as Dale thinks it's already over.
Have to go.
And perhaps it is for KT. Gen.G stepping forward. KT still on that Baron, 5,000 on it as Canyon looks for a flank position. The Baron, the target for KT. They'll smite it. They'll secure it. Dogdam stepping forward, dashing onto Keen. The damage onto Perfect as well, but a petrifying gate once again from BDD. He sends Gen.G home in body bags. Chovy trying to escape, and he will manage to get to the safety of his tower.
And BDD says, I am going to the World Finals!
They turn their eyes towards the Drake Soul for them. Canyon a long way away, has that Grand Starfall. Keen going to try and flank across here. Could use the World Ender. Starfall in from Canyon, looks for the steal, but immediately he's yeeted. The Keeper's Verdict finds him guilty, and Emperor's Divide knocks the World Ender into the middle. The Shockwave finds KT, but Duro dives in, and the rest of Gen.G just can't follow him. KT claim the soul, they claim the kills, and they claim Gen.G's lives.
KT is just running through the fight. Trophy's in trouble. BDD's going.
BDD can still chase them in. He's the only one left alive. Chovy stands alone as KT clean up the fight.
And that is a 5-for-1.
This objective, the TP early, used by 369. Both teams looking for a brawl.
No control over the opposite side, Tribush from G2, but it seems like they are unconcerned, happy to just force the front to back. Hung on the flake, no quickness available, but he does have access to the exhaust. 3K on the objective, G2 are trying to burn it down, but Kanavi's not having it. The Forge God called, Broken Blade exhausted, knocked out G2, hand delivering the objective to the side of TES. 369 wants a bit more. The Hyper Procs coming in, scout of the week. Pushing back TES, but G2 losing so damn much.
Yeah, G2's hopes come crashing down as Otacon is stolen and they are killed in retreat. I saw
As well, 50 seconds left on this Baron. A couple of waves for Gen G to play with.
Yeah, but it's KT holding on well. No inhibitors have fallen yet. They did lose the one tower, but only 40 seconds left on this Baron.
BDD goes in, and he tries to seal the fates of Chovy, but he pops a stopwatch immediately. The Slapjack gets him. Cataclysm off the backline. Gen G have already lost their mid laner. A GA coming out for KT as they manage to back away. Gen G lose two. BDD wants to make it more, can't find it, but KT hold on.
The engage from BDD is such a thing of beauty because the Zhonya's loses so much power against the Caitlyn. So they go in knowing that he's going to use the Zhonya's. He uses it.
Two, ignoring topside, letting that wave be deleted because they know they need to defend mid lane. Rift Herald, Kanavi mounted up. Looking for a knock-up, unbreakable for a brief moment. Now moving into the backside, that's the Cyclone. Stumon gets out the Crescent Guard to mitigate some of the damage, but he's still locked down by Jackie Love. Moving into the circle briefly as Hung does his best to body block. All in from G2. The public execution brings 369 right into G2's backline, and they start to fall. TES make it look effortless. Cream pulled back, the Shockwave caps a moment. He turns it back for G2 and takes two in return.
Caps, he's popping off. The Orianna has arrived. The Shockwave Vedius saves a bit of it for G2.
It's a little cliche, but the Shockwave did in fact find